What's going on, everyone? It's Jeremy with JMed's Brick Clicks. I got all my custom construction vehicles here, totally my own design custom stuff. Let's take a look at each one. Okay, so the first design, this was a Lego set, kind of. It came out a few years ago, the skid loader. It had wheels on it and was a lot less in depth. What I did, I modified it heavily to the point where it's almost a totally custom build. We added tracks, but we also had to add the entire back end of this and kind of compact it down a little bit. But honestly, yeah, it's a pretty much totally custom build. I'll take a closer look so you can see the features of it. Just Technic pins on the bottom. We added those 3 pieces there just to keep the tracks in line. Tracks move pretty smooth on any kind of carpet or anything. Back of it here, yeah, that just pops off. And yeah, I just noticed that sticker's upside down. Oh, you know why? Because it's not supposed to be like that. I guess my son's been playing with it. Anyway, yeah, there's that one, number 1. Number 2, a little custom bulldozer. Turn this little thing on here, if it's gonna work. Maybe not. All right, I did a video on this recently because I just built it earlier this year, but my own little custom bulldozer. So we've got tracks, got the blade on the front that rotates, and a little ripper plow that, yeah, we can add to the bottom. Open cab station, kind of that, I want to say 1970s, 1980s era tractor. It's actually 6 wide on the build. The top of it, I mean, really, the build part's 4 wide. Lego is making such huge bulldozers, the last couple that have come out, and just trying to make something small that's going to fit on a road, kind of like this one, that'll fit down a lane on your road. Just wanted to make something small that you could also haul on a trailer. So I made a flatbed trailer for it as well. But yeah, custom little, just vintage bulldozer. And speaking of custom bulldozer, I made this like vintage one. I think they made this about 2 years ago, maybe 3. So tracks move on it. Our blade moves up and down. You can see how the build is on it to be able to put this just little custom blade on it. Decent little back. Yeah, we put a coupler joint or coupler hitch for some reason on the back. We've got lights, but for a vintage thing, yeah, it's pretty nice. It's a small build. I mean, it's not going to win any awards by any means. It'll fit on a trailer. It'll fit in a Lego city pretty much anywhere. I'm really happy with it. For a comparison, side by side, it's still minifig scale, but at this size, yeah, I mean, it could almost, if you take the blade off, it could also pass as a tractor. So what I mean by that, all I got to do is pop the blade off. And yeah, it works almost as a Lego tractor. One of the old vintage, just little workhorse tractors. There's our blade. All right, what do we got next? The next one is my little mini excavator. Yeah, super mini. So the one that just came out from Lego, the excavator that's like $54. Yeah, that thing's huge. Won't fit on, I mean, you're really in a construction site setting. If you're going to use that, you're not going to drive that thing down any Lego street. This thing, this is more the size that you would go to a rental center and rent one for the day if you're into that. Whole thing moves. We use the old 80s, 90s era bucket, which Lego really needs to make one of these buckets to fit the new hinges, because that's a piece that is desperately missed. We've got our little blade stopper on the front. We've got a nice little reach for our boom. And then to get them in, all we got to do is raise that up to get our guy in the operator station. And you'll notice the little clip on the back. That's for when I've got it on the trailer. I can just clip it on the trailer. That way it stays and we can take it to the next job site. All right, next up, This one, I think we need to get rid of the turntable. I made this, I want to say 3 years ago. I don't think it's held up as well as some of the other builds that I've done. I think it needs to be remodeled. There's a lot of good with this road grader, but there's also, like back here on the back side, you can see some dust on it too. It's really boxy in the back. That's what I don't like. Now the blading system that turns and then basically can only lock out to that point, I love that. Same thing with the wheels. They can only go that far, so they can't turn all the way around, and you're not running into the tires or the blade. So I love some of those features that I came up with. I don't really like the 2-plate support beam going across for the blade. Yeah, using that huge plate, I'm just not happy with it, but it's like I don't really want to rebuild it because I'm just content with it. I almost thought about adding a ripper plow, kind of like this, because some of these road graders do have it. Also, a little trivia fact, Lego has never released an official road grader set. So there is a Technic set, 1 or 2 Technic builds that are like 2-in-1s, but never any minifig scale road grader that was like the A model, not the B model, or just here's some pieces. Well, we'll throw some little thing together and call it a road grader. I think they made one, I want to say in the 80s or 90s, there's a yellow Technic set like that. But yeah, we've got our operator station on the inside, nothing special, just a simple build. I'd almost thought about doing the open cab, kind of like the 1970s, 80s, maybe even 60s models of this, but I chose a full enclosed cab, 6 wide build, plus the tires, and then the blade is really wide. So we got 2 of those blades side by side, but if we need to move them, yeah, we can. What do you think? I know it's not the best compared to the other mocks, but it serves its purpose. The last one, it's one I'm really happy with. It's my backhoe. Spot on. It's one of my favorite mocks that I made last year. And yeah, I can take the front off, pop that in. We use the same backhoe piece. The turntable, that's another piece that's really missed, is the turntable piece. We've got outriggers, and yes, the outriggers will support the backhoe. And yeah, pretty cool design. And some of the other features I'm happy with. Our exhaust, I really wish they'd make different color pins. I didn't even realize that. I used a black one on that side and a blue one on the other. I think I've had this thing built. I built it in January or February of 2023. So there's one little piece. The engine block, I like this, using those pieces to kind of go from a 3 wide or a 4 wide down to a 2. That worked out well. Using the old wheels from the 80s, that these wheels really aren't used anymore. Like that. The fenders, doing the fender piece, and then you can see the curved pieces over it, adding the black and yellow. I made it a little short and stubby because I went over several things, and I was just, I had it longer and it didn't look right, and then kind of that bent nose. And this is what I came up with I was really happy with this. So that's my collection. Let me zoom out for you. Try to get them all in here. I guess I should put the road grader in the back since it's the biggest and probably the junkiest build of the 5 or 6. Anyway, let me know what you think. Is there a favorite one that you got? Is there any of them that you'd prefer to build over another? Anyway, that's my little Lego custom construction collection. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.